Welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, episode 21. So, as far as I remember, on a quick skim of the ending, Vivi, Petri, Agents Ehrlich, Cobb, and Danvers and Hildy, coming from the motel, the strange motel, and then entering a door to hopefully get them back to Division, and then Hypnos and Wisp on the island that is somewhat familiar at the temple, and Wisp promising to serve Hypnos. That's going to be interesting for sure. So, as far as we know, it's like Elle has ducked out of the campaign for the rest of the campaign, but there's not much left. And hopefully we'll see her in case there's any cancellations on her other games, so it's fine. But regardless, you guys are here now. Yes, and please remember impulses for end of session. And yeah, anybody want to recall what they remember from last time before we head into hopefully the last mystery?
Well, boy, howdy. We all got back on the plane, and then Wisp and Zero said, hey, this plane that we're all in? Uh, what if we just destroyed it for funsies?
I mean, that was entirely Wisp's fault. I don't know why you're blaming Hypnos, but fine. And the plane went down, and the monsters got separated. Hypnos and Wisp ended up on that island, as mentioned. They had some fun chats. Wisp pledged herself to Hypnos temporarily, at least. They are going to team up to kill all the gods, and then they'll see between the two of them who survives.
Very healthy relationship there.
Yeah, that's what the Greek gods were known for, healthy relationships.
Yeah, normal.
We call it in modern times frenemies.
Would we? Is that the word we would use?
Hypnos calls it convenient for now. And that's where we left those two, at least.
Petri and Vivi went back to the motel, as said. Discovered Agent Ehrlich was through the TV, through a door, in death, question mark, because she had seen her dead husband, and Vivi was having absolutely zero of that. And so they did the thing they're supposed to do in movies and said goodbye to their companion, hugging Petri, and thus inviting all sorts of misfortune on the two of them by doing that. And then stepped into the realm of death after Agent Ehrlich to try to rescue her, while Petri vomited? No, not vomited. Extruded a door like a starfish stomach. And then everyone went through it.
I forgot to give you a star for that last time, by the way. Petri, was there anything that you wanted to add?
No, that about covers it.
Okay. So, stepping through the door and then back at the for the bigger group, stepping through the extruded door, and for Hypnos, I think. Well, let me ask you something out of character. Do you think that you would, like, Hypnos would actually let Wisp go? Because there was a draw for her at that one door while you were at the temple. Do you consider that you would let her go through it? To do whatever she needed to do, or would you say that she is...
I think so. I think he would. She has pledged herself to him, and they have an agreement. I think he'd trust in that for now, at least.
Okay. Because I think she would say something like, well, we have an agreement. There's things that I still need to do. And I see my way clear through that door. And she points directly at the door across, which to her looks like it's drenched in red. To you, you might see a substance, but to you it looks like more of dream stuff per se. But that door is opening for her, so she is saying that she needs to go through. Chat.
Very well. You will find me when it's time.
Yes, yes, I will. And when I do, I look forward to the contest. And it will be no contest. And she kind of like leans down and will give you that bared teeth smile that she has, and her eyes glow golden. And she will actually give you a kiss quickly on your head, and then she will duck into the open door. And we'll see, like at the end, what befell her through the door. But I think, again, I was saying, in the temple itself, I mean, there was like, offerings of fruit and such in front of several doors that were here. So the one straight ahead that Wisp went through and has completely closed behind her. And then another door that's on the side, and then another one completely opposite to it on the side. There are symbols on those particular doors. Some might look familiar to you. Again, one of the doors has the symbols shifting constantly, and then the other one looks rather papery thin, but also has symbols etched on it as well.
And the symbols, do they mean anything to me, or is this an opportunity to hunt for keys and see if they mean anything to me?
Grasping for keys sounds like it would be very appropriate. Sure.
I'm going to spend 2 darkness tokens, because otherwise things will get awkward.
Mhm.
And that's a 10.
Okay, cool. Alright, so for Hypnos, 10 on grasp keys. Tell me exactly what you're doing when you're grasping keys to get a further idea of what you're looking at.
I think as he gets closer to it, you see his brow furrow, and he is trying to see if these make any sense to him, peering through his memory, his vague gossamer memories of Zero's time, see if they mean anything in there.
Oh. Okay, repeat what you just said very carefully. Looking that you are seeing...
The vague gossamer memories of Zero's time in this body.
So I think as you get closer to the symbols, they shift like the opposite door to it, and you will see these particular symbols start to look like, you know how ink seeps when it's already on paper and it gets wet. It's kind of like that. you don't see anything clearly until you get close enough to almost activate it. Like your presence is causing this to appear, like invisible ink coming to the surface, and you start to see it's forming file names, like your dim memory of this, previous persona Zero has seen these things before, and it's like a spread dossier of files of all the members, or at least some of the members of Division that you've met, even down to Melody, even cafeteria worker, and there are some dark secrets in there for each of them. I will put that into the keys section. Apologize for not putting that further in, but not that Hypnos is necessarily concerned, but I'm just curious. Do you recognize any dark secrets that Hypnos might have seen in dreams?
Like particular?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I mean, you might even remember Agent Peace.
All right. Yeah. I think while we might be monsters, one of the humans working there, and maybe we'll figure out who as we go, is so much worse. I think someone has a great deal of literal skeletons in their closet. And maybe it's Melody.
Okay. Love it. All right. So as it's forming these files, like as if it's paper copies, pasted onto this door, the door will open for you as you get near, and you see what Zero would remember as the halls of Division. Do you go through?
Yes.
Okay. And everybody else on the that was on the plane were on the plane, saved by Vivi. There we go. I think what you are going to find going through the door is, in creating the door, I think it would require some thought towards Division, if that's where you want to go. What specific image do... Oh my god. Weirdness. What the specific image does Petri think of and Vivi think of? Since between the two of you, you can control the door's destination. What are you specifically thinking of at Division to get you there? If you are.
I'm thinking of the parasitic library.
Okay.
Where this door leads.
Okay. Vivi?
I think having just rescued Agent Ehrlich, Vivi's thinking of her office and the couch and their discussions and so on and so forth.
This door is not a straight through thing, especially because you two are thinking of two separate places.
Go us.
Go us. I'm thinking that as Petri's thinking of the library, perhaps your remembrance, your memory is shifting to that particular shelf where you pulled off your book and you had pointed out Vivi's, bringing back to that particular memory. But then, Vivi, you're seeing the books and the shelving in Ehrlich's office, and it's kind of like a back and forth alternation between the two. So you're just walking, but it's like it's an image that's further away. You're trying to walk to get there, but it keeps on like evading you as you're all walking through. And I think as you're walking through, you all hear what sounds like a transmission, as if the radio in the hoverjet is nearby, and you're hearing this, even though the hoverjet's long gone, boy. And it says, Omen class monsters. Several personnel, agents, and Omen class monsters have been reported missing, changed, or terminated. Black alert protocols activated. Black alert protocols activated. Do not approach the... It does not exist. Lies. Ancient.
Are we together at this point, or are we sort of independently moving through this space?
I think you're all together, but again, it's like you're moving through some liminal space that alternates between the hallways of division towards Ehrlich's office, and the vision of Ehrlich's office door, like going into it, is like drawing away from you. Same with the parasitic library.
I
Put
think-
loudspeakers in here?
I'm sorry?
They put loudspeakers in the parasitic library?
Out of character, you open the door. I mean, like, they managed to poke through, so why not?
I'm being colonized.
I think perhaps I think this is the first time that Vivi might have acknowledged this. They will look at Petri and say, was there a universe where we understood that transmission?
Few, yeah.
Is it important?
That depends. Do you regard spheres, obelisks, temples, or volcanoes as important generally?
Oh boy.
It was a cow once. Is that important?
And Vivi just takes a breath. All right, no, forget I asked. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I really hope this is the cow one.
The cow, what you can we why are we oscillating, Petri, through your door?
I don't know. Have you tried
Ehrlich will speak up, but she's kind of, if you're holding her up, Vivi, then she'll speak up, but in a weakened voice. You're not thinking of the same things. You need a destination. You're thinking of at least two different things.
Usually thinking of several things at the same time.
same?
Well, you need to concentrate on one thing, otherwise we're not going to get there. Look, it's drifting away from us. Whatever you want to go. I would try and do it, but I think, and she looks at Lydia, I think the psychic energy is too much. Whatever's directing it is split. We won't be able to get there because we don't know which there it is.
Why can't Vivi do it? Vivi, why can't you do it?
You're just as strong. And Lydia will nod. Petri, you have so many of these things in you. And memories, too. You could just as easily override anything that Vivi throws at
What
it.
do you think happens when we both do it?
Think of the same place or think of different places. Deliberately.
Don't.
I'm amenable.
And
Same.
he just has this like internal vision of them ripping the universe in half by thinking about two different places. Just right, the library. We should go to the library.
I mean, that is where this door leads. At least
It-
I hope it is. I I lost track of my stomach once, and I'd rather not do it again.
As you say that, I think the vision of the library gets much clearer and crisper, and then the door to Agent Ehrlich's office starts to fade away, and like kind of like just kind of fade into the black. But before it does, I will say that there is a cow's head that peeks out through it and will moo. Um, so yeah, like you're heading
Petrichor
in.
will give it a big smooch and then continue walking through the door.
Yeah,
You deliberately seek out the most improbable timelines.
It took you this long to figure that out?
But Black Swan events are so non-indicative of the way things that it's hardly a good way to conduct research.
What's research?
Oh, stars save me.
Hildy will speak up from the back. The door, it's disappearing. Why is it disappearing?
And Vivi, who has had enough of this, is going to try to synchronize with Petri and reach out and stabilize the door they're heading towards.
Indeed.
Dimensional
plan on-
phasing powers.
Okay. Are you trying to go power through darkness?
Yes.
Or do you have a special that you're going to use from your playbook?
I think just regular power through darkness. I mean, I have the powers of darkness. So there we go.
Okay. Pushing the limits of your supernatural powers, straining to do the extraordinary or avert imminent danger. Spend darkness tokens and roll.
Let's do it. I'm spending 4.
You can only spend up to 3.
Number 3. Well, that's still terrible. Because that's 12.
If you can spend a bond with Wisp to get a +3.
Or a -3 in this case.
Yeah.
I think that's how. I think she can adjust yours. Let me see. Bond with you, modify roll by +1 or -1. Bond instead grants a +3 or -3 bonus. Yeah, so could totally apply. So yeah, I mean if you
Sure.
your family,
Yeah.
your family. Now.
I'm happy to do that. And Vivi will just we'll feel it start to shift and just be like, no, we have to get back to division. We need to warn them about Wisp and Hypnos and this. Just I've had enough of this instability.
And tell me how it shifts back.
I think the hallway that we're in that goes towards the door visibly swallows, and then the door stabilizes at the end.
Nice.
And we just look over at Petri. Like, did you?
That tickle.
No,
What did
don't
you
want
just
to know.
do?
Enough of this. And Hildy will pick up Agent Ehrlich and Agent Danvers and like literally like kind of like firemen carry them like, and then go through the door past you two as you're arguing. I don't remember whether Cobb completely woke up or not. I'm gonna say he did, and he's still kind of groggy, as if he's lost, like as if he's still trying to figure out what happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but he'll follow. He'll definitely follow for sure. And I think he'll say, as you make it out through the door into the space, I think, I don't know. I feel like I lost something. Where's Zero? Hypnos? Where is he?
The plane down, Cobb.
No. No. He can't die.
Wouldn't you? No.
There's something from our reality which it's like a little death, but instead of actually dying, It's like locking the essence away, and it's like a burial or a funeral pyre where the godliness is burned away and you take what's left and keep it mundane, keep it asleep. It's for safety, so another reality doesn't get broken or destroyed. I didn't want to tell him. I couldn't risk. But I guess he's awake. And this reality's not broken yet, I guess. He looks like he has to sit down. And I think the parasitic library kind of like provides those little ladders on shelving or whatever. And he sits down and rests on that.
Little footstool grows up under him.
And I'm going to say that because the parasitic library had those shifting shelves, as you come in, you see the shelving shift. Not only laterally, but also vertically. And I think from behind one of the vertically moving shelves, there is a door that opens up. Hypnos, as you walk through, and from what you remember of Division's hallways, somehow the perception, the reality of it, starts to fade, and it's like the space turns very indistinct until it becomes books and shelves that appear in front of you, and there is no space below, but you're still floating. Like, it doesn't affect you. And perhaps, like, when the shelves shift again, maybe you see your former companions from the plane. I don't think they see you yet.
Cobb, have you tried praying to him? Would that do anything?
It might. But he didn't know who I was. I don't know what happened in Vegas, but he became himself again. And
He just looks down, quietly not engaging with that statement.
I guess I can try. And he will slowly get down on his knees and just kneel, bow his head. And he starts speaking in, of course, the ancient language. And I think you do hear this, Hypnos. And it fills you with emotions that you probably haven't felt for some time. What does his worship mean to you?
I think it's a little bit like when you smell one of those scents that just kind of brings you back to your childhood. If Hypnos never really had a childhood, but he had early years and early centuries, and I think that's what this does. It reminds him of that time, and he is drawn toward it.
You see Cobb's back bowed, as well as his head, as he kneels on this strange surface, surrounded by the others. Do you make your presence known? I mean, the shelving is shifting all around you, whether it be laterally or vertically, so you could conceivably come mysteriously from behind if you wanted.
Yeah, I think he'll do that, and he'll just what is this place?
I think Vivi will jump.
Petra will just sort of perfectly morph so that they are 180 degrees turned without having to turn. Go, well, I mean,
Wait, how did you
that's
do that?
complicated. Do what?
He, 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 it snuck up on me. That shouldn't happen.
It.
It snuck up on me too. And like, it's in my stomach right now. So that's.
I am in your what?
It's complicated.
I was on an island with the tall one.
And
Now
Hildy
I
will
am
come
here.
forward and say, "Where is she?"
Yes, where you didn't. Did you? Zero. Hypnos. Did you
You
kill
definitely didn't kill
Wisp?
her. You don't have it in you.
Oh. Well, that's a relief.
Where is she?
Gone.
What does that even mean, tiny
I
god?
owe you no more than that.
Is that what you think? That you
You
don't
should
owe us
really
anything?
reconsider where you're standing if you're going to talk like that.
I don't need to stand here and listen to your bleating.
Cobb's prayers are still ringing in your ears.
Can I see Cobb?
Oh, yeah. No, he's still on the floor. He has not stopped.
Stop.
In mid-prayer, the prayer is arrested, and he will not look at you, but he is in your shadow. And he stays kneeling, very still and silent.
I know this place.
Yes, you were here. Back when you thought it would be... I don't know what you thought. Anything to interact with us as beings and not as whatever kind of detritus you seem to think we are now.
Mortals.
Vivi kind of scoffs a little bit at that.
Lydia will slowly go over to Cobb. Cobb? Cobb. Snap out of it. And she'll actually, snap her fingers in front of his face, but he keeps his head bowed, not responding. And she'll look at you, Hypnos. What did you do? Zero or what? Hypnos? What are you doing to him?
Nothing. I have no interest in... I don't know what is happening to him.
I do know what you are. And I know what you mean to Cobb. And you can blast me out of existence all you want. But you have no right to treat someone who loves you that much after all he's done for you.
He is one of millions.
But he is the only one who is stuck with you from that destroyed place that you came from. Think about that, God. And she'll try to help Cobb to his feet, but he's not moving.
Do all of your millions guard your physical form? Do they all inquire after you? Do they all take you for strange human sustenance, which you keep talking about?
What?
How many of your millions love you? Or do you not remember what that means?
I tire of this. Release me from this place.
He just kind of smirks a little bit. You're all powerful. Can't you find a way out yourself? Or do you need help?
If you want to get out so bad, just look down.
I'll look down.
There is no floor. You begin to fall. What do you do in your coyote time second?
Gonna do what I did with Wisp and use my telekinesis to sort of fly.
Powering through. Well, actually, you know what? Just wondering if this is like kind of an Unleash the Dark. For Petri. Since
Yes?
this is. Just wondering if it's an Unleash the Dark since you're trying to enforce your will upon.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. Spend darkness tokens and roll, please.
Okay, I've definitely held myself above and apart from Hypnos. So I'm taking darkness tokens, spending 2 on this roll. That is a 6 on the dice plus 2 for an 8.
Yes. Okay. 8 to 10, you wield the darkness with control and ease. Choose 2 of those things. Get past their defenses and inflict a condition. Get what you want from them. Avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. Gain the upper hand for now. Expose a weakness or flaw. Or confuse them for some time.
So many good options.
What would you like Hypnos to do?
I think,
You choose 2 of those things.
yes, I want to inflict a condition,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess is also getting what I want from them, but sorry, I need to tab over to this.
Basic moves tab, yep.
And then the handy little side basic moves thing. Let's see. Do I want to gain the upper hand or expose a weakness?
Oh, it could be fun for a weakness, but that's
Let's
just
do
me.
a weak. Yeah, let's just do a weakness. Why does this scare you, Hypnos?
Because this body is mortal. And this could hurt.
Okay. I guess you pick a condition also. Since you have those preset.
I don't feel like lustful is appropriate, but raging or obsessed.
I could see obsessed in a certain way of like you need to get back at me for this slight.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. Oh boy. Could be fun. All right. Well,
Are you ready to play nice?
What is my status? Am I falling or?
I thought you telekinesis yourself.
Well, that was before you rolled a 10 on Power Through Darkness.
I
So
rolled an 8.
still.
Oh,
still.
then I think you are, but in place.
Oh no. Yeah, you could bring the floor of the parasitic library up real fast if you wanted to, Petri.
Well, yeah, but also, space is negotiable, and I am the arbiter.
Yeah.
So you're falling, and the rest of us are fine.
Yeah.
And you're also not moving anywhere.
Right.
I don't
so excited by this. He'll peel forward and be like, That is the most fascinating. How did you make physics do that?
Physics?
Yeah, oh goodness.
He's holding himself apart, so I'm holding him apart.
I don't think he screams, but there's a rather undignified gasp and maybe something that, if you were ungenerous, it might sound a little bit like a whimper, but he's going to clam up real quick.
Are you
I'm kind
ready
of.
to play nice? Say you're sorry.
I will not. Release me.
I'll wait.
I just, so as the shade, can I just like summon death? An avatar of death?
I would rather you didn't.
Okay. That's fine then. I won't. Easy. Let's move on.
I mean, unless you're like activating a playbook move or something like that has you do
Sort of-
something with death.
I mean, talk to death in some cases.
Right.
Anyway, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say as you're doing that, Petri, I think you'll hear like a surprised uh, squeak from Agent Ehrlich behind you, and even Lydia will look up from trying to raise Cobb from his kneeling position and look over, and purring at your leg is what looks like... It looks like a cat, but it's purple, and it has strange symbols tattooed, etched, written all over it. And it's staring at you with red eyes.
Kitty.
Yep, it rubs its hairless skin against you. And it's tattoos. The tattoos are actually moving across its skin.
Patrick will lean down and scratch it under the chin.
And like just reacts like a cat, like just purring away. Like you can physically feel it underneath your appendage. And like it'll, kind of like rub its cheek against your appendage and just enjoy the petting. And then will stare up at you, and it looks like it's about ready to meow, and then instead says, thank you.
Hello, little friend.
Hello.
Changed a
you-
lot around here since last time we met.
Oh, you met me much longer ago than that. But you may not remember. The oldest house doesn't let you remember.
What is the oldest house? I mean, surely that's somewhere in, well, the place where your species, Vivi looks over at Petri because they've now immediately confused themselves.
You don't look office drab. You're not nearly uniform enough to be division.
Oh no. I am more, beyond. I am the oldest cat. And she'll open her mouth again, and instead of talking in her voice, like you hear what sounds like a human, like maybe a division agent that you might have heard before. It sounds like the staticky transmission that you heard earlier in the liminal hall, and it says, The oldest cat has come to me in my dreams. It's purred against what's left of my heart. But I can't remember. I can't remember what the oldest house wants me to do. I need to disappear. I need to become changed and unchanged, body and unbody. And please don't open the door. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. I don't want to. Please, please, please. And then she snaps her mouth shut, as if to cut off the signal.
Now that didn't sound right.
Release me!
Oh, all right, fine. You land flat on your face.
The oldest cat will look to you, Petri, and say, "Don't worry. He will forget. You all will. Here, in the house." And you notice that the parasitic library has stopped shifting. And instead, there's features of it that melt away. And you see it coalesce into a mishmash of different places and things that you've seen before. Maybe in the distance you see a door leading to a lab that you saw on Island 0. And then another door will lead to what looks like one of the casinos back in Vegas. And then yet another one will lead to a very dark and twisted version of the old division hallways.
I will make you suffer for that.
Oh,
You can try.
And I will
Vivi
enjoy the trying.
Vivi was going to stomp over to Hypnos and stand in front of him and put their arms on their hips and their best imitation of a like peevish librarian, and would just say, are all human gods as completely irritating as you? Have you no dignity? This is childish.
Your opinion of me matters. Weighs less than moonlight. You are a thing. A thing that smells of death. Oh.
And why should that worry you?
Oh, it doesn't.
I don't believe you. Granted, I don't believe in you, so I'm not really sure why we're talking right now. We have a door to choose. Again.
There are doors, the oldest cat speaks again, and there are no doors. Someone or something has infiltrated the oldest house. It was not called or invited in. And this is also not the first time you all have come here. I need your help to take back the oldest house. Help me to help you before the oldest house sates its hunger with you.
And Vivi goes to like address the cat and goes to agree to help, and then just takes a moment and looks over at Petri. It does figure that your cat would be just as inscrutable as you.
This one isn't mine. She's a guest. Be polite.
Vivi crouches down and says, well, this is highly unusual, but how do we help you take back the oldest house? I am. That is this place, yes?
Your friend thinks that they are within him.
But he does not know or remember that the oldest house has made its way around him. Or maybe I'm remembering terribly because that's what the oldest house does. We need help to find our way out. Find out who has infiltrated the house and take it back. Help me take it back before it consumes everything.
Right. Infiltrators in the house. And Vivi will look around. Well, this is a fairly specific brand of nonsense that's normally Petri's domain, but I will do what I can. And
Would you like a diagram?
gosh, Vivi cannot help but say yes. It would be
course.
against Vivi's character to not ask her a diagram.
Of course.
I think Petri will summon forth like a kitty library shelf with a little like not a full-size academic blackboard, one of those little ones with like an easel that's like 4-year-old height, sitting on top of like maybe a 3-box shelf at about Petri's head height at the moment, which I realize does not give you any idea how tall it actually is. This will continue for some time.
I think Lydia will look up from where she is and she'll just look at you, Petri, and go, Petri, be nice.
Sorry, I'm trying to explain it simply, and this is the simplest thing I can think of. Or at least the thing most associated with simplicity. Anyway.
I think the insult just totally flies over Vivi's head because they were never a human child.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, I mean,
Petri
Lydia
fully
knows.
did not mean this as an insult. It's 100% like a semiotics of education thing going on. Like, we need to start at the beginning, so I'm explaining it to... It's explain it like I'm 5, so I have to use props for a 5-year-old. Obviously.
So...
Mads, I'm just gonna go. If you can stop me when I'm wrong.
So, yes, you are, like, deep in the middle of the mystery right now. Getting some cryptic crap from a cat, which is great, because they're full of cryptic crap. And so I'm going to fill in all of the facets of this last mystery, which is called The Oldest House. The facets are missing memories.
It actually called that? Just straight up?
Straight up. Missing memories.
Hilarious.
Time restarting. So this will be fun for me. Divisions. Connection with the oldest house. And the usual. The Door of Power. And the Harbinger. With a complexity 8. Okay. There's already 2 clues on the board. Before we take a break, I'm going to say that clicking over the... Oops. Helps to be the right size. Clicking over the Doomsday Clock once. Because I think as Vivi is trying to figure out the patterns of this place, I think, again, as the landscape has shifted, you see a whole bunch of different rooms from different places that you've seen before. There's dozens of what look like projectors descending from this amorphous ceiling. And there's video footage on each of these projectors that is showing from different timelines. You see truth in the contradictions, patterns that cannot be ignored. What cold announcement comes from the unseen speakers?
Is that for me specifically?
That's for anyone. Imagine the projector showing you things that you did not remember, but yet they are true. What announcement do you, as your character, hear from unseen speakers?
I think the ooh, that's handing a real knife to someone if I say that. I think the thing that Vivi would be most terrified of would be a temporal reset back to like the beginning of our campaign, more or less, because that would undo everything. And so, if there is the announcement of a fail-safe, uh, with a time reset, that would be absolutely terrifying. Don't know if that works, but
That's pretty cold. What other announcements do you hear?
Petri will hear something like a numbers station read out in the completely flat, affectless voice of Peter Corda, age 9.
I think there is a message about the Lethe reservoir being compromised, and that is extremely concerning.
You're hearing it too, aren't you?
The oldest cat says from beside Petri.
It is speaking the truth that you may not remember, and the memory that may not have happened. But it is still true somewhere. This is all wrong. All wrong.
And I think after you hear the particular announcement that you hear for yourselves, even Lydia, Ehrlich, and Cobb look fearful because they heard something too, very specific to them. I think you also hear on the speakers, you will also hear announcements that everyone hears, like, "Go no further. Division is ours. The apocalypse on our terms." And then other voices that sound like people that you knew from some of the other mysteries, or even from Division, maybe, if you remember anybody. "Help us! You almost made it last time. Please, please don't give up. Don't give up." All right, so with this mystery, you are to figure out who has infiltrated the oldest house and help the oldest cat get back control. And there is a custom move associated with this. So it's called Servants of the Oldest Cat. I put it at the bottom of the, well, hold on, the mystery tab. There we go. And it's, again, called Servants of the Oldest Cat. When you attempt to follow the oldest cat's guidance to navigate the oldest house, you spend darkness tokens and roll. 8 to 10, you wander into a welcoming area of the oldest house, and then you make one of those choices that's available. On an 11 plus, the oldest house responds to your presence. You choose one from the above, from the 8 to 10 list, but I will describe what challenges or monsters you find waiting for you there. Yay. And then on a 7 minus, the infiltrators intervene and temporarily cut off communication with the oldest cat. Prepare for the horrors of reality, fully corrupted. Fun. So.
Cool.
Yeah. And given this jam-packed mystery, it's like I get some new keeper moves as well. So. It's all good.
Just to be perfectly crystal clear, the oldest house is Division, just like in hit 2016 video game Control, right?
I'm not familiar with that video game, but I mean, like, essentially, it has formed, the oldest house has formed around Division and has corrupted division with itself. So expect a lot of change in reality, and
I'm supposed to do that. Nobody corrupts division from within but me.
you got competition, man. So I mean, you got to figure out who's doing this crap. Yeah. So again, as a reminder, your facets for this particular mystery are missing memories, time restarting, division's connection with the oldest house, the door of power, and the harbinger. And the amount of spaces underneath each one is no indication, like, that's it. That's all you can use. You can always add more if you need to. But yeah, it's a complexity 8, so you need at least 8 clues to be able to formulate a theory and roll without any negatives or positives.
Why are we listening to what this cat says? She paid no more heed than we would a talkative rat.
If you didn't have my friend trapped in your dream prison, I would eat you alive. I still might.
How about we criticize the cat once you have better manners than it?
It did ask very nicely. You could learn a thing or two.
The oldest cat will get up on its back paws and kind of lean on you, Petri, as she tries to look into your eyes. She will say,
It is all right. He seems to be suffering. Memory is such a fleeting thing. It can make anyone frustrated when it is lost.
I am not lost.
And yet you are not found either.
Vivi
Do you
will
not
address
have
the
a-
handlers and just say, this really makes me appreciate the version of him that just owned the insecurity.
Lydia will kind of lean down and, like, even though she's trying to make sure that you can't hear, it's like, I think, Petri, if you have your extraordinary ears or whatever, I think you'll hear her whisper to Cobb saying,
I know you have faith, but what did you ever see in him?
Oh.
I will
Wow.
turn to
Hey,
Casually
Lydia.
Ben, are you
devastating.
all right?
Just turn to Lydia and say, I own half of your life, mortal. Every time you sleep, every time you dream, it is by my grace. Remember.
hmm.
You keep using that word. Mortal.
Yes, congratulations. You have ears amidst that mess.
You know you can die, right? And not just in the mythological sense. That shell can be ripped asunder, and you will go with it. There is nothing beyond it. Well, not nothing, but mystery even to you.
That mystery is my brother.
Vivi, is that true?
Vivi is going to reach out and, yeah, Death walked here.
Okay. Go ahead and read off the move, please.
Death reaches all places and into the heart of all things. When you seek to reconstruct events or learn something valuable, spend darkness tokens and roll.
Okay, to clarify, are you, like, trying to figure out what's happened here in the parasitic library / division / oldest house, or are you trying to do something specific with zero hypnos?
I'm gonna hope for one of each when I roll.
Okay, we'll see.
10 darkness tokens.
10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tokens. 10 darkness tok Yeah.
I shouldn't be this gleeful about it, but I am.
We haven't seen death yet.
I know.
We have the I Flirt with Death playbook, and we haven't even seen them yet.
It is a 10.
Nice.
We
Okay.
take those.
Yep, we take those. All right, Death walked here. So please describe to me, Vivi, how. Well, does anybody else see Death? I mean, I've seen iterations of the Shade where it's like, nobody else sees Death except the Shade.
So
Certainly here in this place where things are only their meaning.
yeah, I don't know that it would always be visible, but I'm very okay with it being visible here and now because of this.
I mean, like, reality is being reshaped, reformed, and reused. So please tell me how Death is perceived here within the
So
confines.
I think uh I think it's mundane in that way that death is horrifyingly mundane. Death just walks out around a corner. There is no fancy portal. There is no fanfare. It is simply not there one moment and there the next, walking into the room.
Is he eating pizza and going sup?
I don't think so.
Cobb.
But I had envisioned death as 0 but rendered in negative.
Fascinating.
And I'm sorry, what was this in response to? I got so caught up by my excitement of the move that I totally forgot a line that
you
we
wanted
proceeded
to
with.
you wanted to, well, the move says when you seek to reconstruct events or learn something valuable in an area. So 8 to 10, Death shows you exactly what happened here. In addition, you draw Death close to you, ask 2 of those things that Death will answer.
Right.
Right.
So
Since you rolled a 10.
I would like to ask what evidence here will help my investigation, and that's about the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And then how can I use any of this as leverage? And that's about Hypnos.
Okay. And then use any here for leverage.
I think
Right.
before Death steps around the corner, Vivi will walk up to Hypnos and say, "You smell death on me. I have the death of my entire people inside me. I know death in a way that I wish I did not."
And I know death like family.
Well then, let's ask which of the 2 of us he prefers.
Oh, sorry.
If he reaches deep inside themselves and communes with the death of an entire species.
Oh my god.
And -0 saunters around the corner. Or I don't know. Saunters? How does
-0.
0?
I love that.
That's amazing. Oh my god, these things are so good. Oh, jeez. Okay. Make of this what you will. Death comes walking around the corner, looking real cash, like 0 does, or used to. But, of course, in the negative format. And it's almost like, one hand in the pocket, the other hand is like kind of holding something. And you can't tell exactly what it is until he gets close up to you, Vivi. And, like, totally ignores Hypnos. And just, like, says, sup. And will kind of click a button on this thing that he's holding, and it is a micro cassette recorder. And you recognize your own voice on the tape of this thing, and you're saying, "Please listen to me. I don't have much time before the next reset." And then -0 will hand it to you and says, "That's all I got. That's all it says. I hope it helps." And leverage. What is the most hurtful thing your brother would say to you, Hypnos?
You're better than this.
And only once he's done with his errand to Vivi will he slowly make that deliberate turn that he does in his measured way and look at you with eyes not of anger or disgust. It's more of disappointment, looking at you, Hypnos, and saying that you're better than this. What are you doing? Why? And you all hear him say this to Hypnos. And then he'll
Gosh,
walk
I
back
think
over.
it would be worse if Hypnos doesn't see or hear him.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. But that is leverage because everybody else did. Everybody else heard it.
Exactly. I think Hypnos will look at Vivi and say, "Well, bring him out then."
Vivi just takes a moment and looks sad. Oh. I see.
Lydia will tug at your sleeve, Petri, and say, "Guess feet of clay after all, huh?"
And to protect some semblance, to give Hypnos a way to back down that isn't perhaps as losing face as it might otherwise be, Vivi will lean in and whisper to Hypnos what was said, and then step back primly and just regard the micro cassette. Vivi's, I think, a little bit shaken by this too. Vivi has not summoned death this way before, and I think I should probably take a ruin before it being 0 and feeling guilt about that.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to try to write this clue in here.
I think when you whisper that, Hypnos is... There will be like a twitch under his eye, but he'll just step back and say, "Keep your filthy lies out of my ears."
The oldest cat will actually pat your leg, Vivi, at this point and say, "You needn't worry about him. He will find his way, or lose it. Whatever happens here in the oldest house will be ever-changing. Need to find the
Steals
infiltrators."
Nods. Yes. This We must. If he looks down at the tape and then looks back up, we must protect this timeline.
There is still semblance of what you remember here, at least for now. If you can remember where to find certain places, that might be a good start.
This is in the library?
No. Look.
And she'll raise a paw and indicate all the different places. Like, you recognize different entrances and exits going into other rooms of division, but they're changed in certain ways. And then even places that are beyond division that are somehow here now. But I think it's because the house is pulling on everybody's memory. So, Island Zero's lab, back at in Manila, some of the tenement apartments, and even something from the motel. You recognize the weird wallpaper. Wherever you would like to go.
Well, I think Vivi is not going back to Vegas. They can't face that. And so they will say, well, perhaps we should start at the beginning and point to Manila. That was number 2, right?
I believe so, yeah.
The beginning of what?
Maybe we'll turn and look at Hypnos. You will be owed an explanation when you treat us the way we deserve to be treated.
I do.
Right, so moving on without explaining things to Hypnos.
Well, Cat, what do you need us for? I promise you, left to our own devices, it will get much worse.
Think on something. Perhaps the past will lead to a solution in the future? And as she's waving her paw, perhaps Lydia is looking off in that direction, and you see what looks like I can't remember if it was like a cave system or it was actually like subterranean rooms down in Island Zero near where you found the heart. But she's looking in that direction, and then the cat is indicating that particular chamber. And then elsewhere, I mean, like, depending on where you're looking, where each of you are looking, it's going to be something from a previous mystery or from Division. I mean, you know, like the surveillance room or the library or communications room or the hotel lobby from the weird motel. Or Vegas. Hypno, she might even see what looks like the... Okay, now that I don't have it up, it's like my memory's completely gone. But you see red walls, like dry, cooled lava rock and chains leading into that particular casino. And maybe you see a familiar back in a dark suit and a particular stance. It's Prometheus.
Yes. Yeah, I think I was going to have Hypnos kind of pretend like he wasn't waiting for someone else to make the first move, but when seeing that, That's where he'll go.
Okay. Okay. Where does Petri and Vivi want to go?
If the cat said to go to Island 0, let's start there.
May as well.
Vivi, wait. Cobb's unresponsive. He's not moving. What do you want me to do?
And if you will ask Petri, where is the safest? Is there a safe place we can put them here? This is also directed at the cat, too, I suppose.
Certainly not anywhere near the cat. They'll be coming for the cat.
He is too correct. I can lead them away, but I don't know for how long. And you may need my help.
I think I mean, I don't need to make this a move. I think I'm going to find Lydia and how to do this. I'm going to hand her my book. Plain and simple. This will tell you where you are.
Okay. Will we
Just
be safe?
keep it close.
Okay.
And if you see anything you think is dangerous, move the other way. I trust you. I trust your instincts.
I know.
We will meet again.
Don't make it sound like I'm not going to see you again, Petri. Stay safe.
Please don't sound so nervous.
Can't help it. I feel like I forgot something.
Go looking for it. It's probably here.
Go. I'll take care of Cobb.
And Petri will look up at Hildy and just nod. And then walk
I will
away.
protect them.
I hope you can read.
She snorts.
And with
Can you
that-
sing the songs of glory and war? All 300 stanzas.
Why would I want to? There is no glory in war.
You've never been to Valhalla, then.
And with that, I will turn and walk away.
And Agent Ehrlich will catch your arm, Vivi. Is there anything you want me to do, Vivi? I can stay with Lydia and Cobb. Will you be all right?
Vivi smiles. It says, I will be fine. You must stay safe. You must hew to duty, I'm afraid. If you find anything, and if he gestures at the shelves, that will help. We will return.
She nods. Oh. Take this. See if it'll help. And she will give you her tablet.
Cool.
For the dream protocol. So you can add that to equipment or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah. Interpret some dreams.
anything can happen here. Trust me, it'll be fun. So, and then if you and Petri are going together, yeah, I mean, like, you see the subterranean hallways from, well, Petri would know them, but you may not have seen them from Island Zero.
I think he was otherwise occupied mentally at that point.
Mm-hmm. All right, I don't want to get further into this because it's like, now we're going to start getting into where everybody's going to be investigating. So let's go ahead and do the end of session stuff, and then we'll go through a quick round of stars and wishes. Sorry for starting late, but I'm just like, didn't want to go without.
Life comes first, always.
And you would have also heard my stomach growling the entire time if I hadn't had any dinner, because that's what happened to me earlier when I didn't have any lunch and I was on a call with someone. So it's like, that's great. Okay. So, end of session. Taking a look at it. All right, real quick. Let's start with... Oh, man. Keep forgetting. It's like, you guys have changed playbooks. All right, the Fallen. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think so.
Yep. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think he wants to admit that he knows what Vivi said was true.
Right.
But yeah, I think.
Sure. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
No. They're insignificant.
Ho, ho, ho! Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? If no, mark ruin. You are really hitting the skids, man.
But I did do that. I got a key.
Okay. Alrighty. And brain. Impulse?
Did I bless the weak with the immeasurable glory of my presence? I think so.
Oh my god. Oh, you just want to kick Hypnos in the pants. At least I do. Alright. The Shade. Did you express your monstrous nature and or you express your humanity?
I mean, humanity, I think, more than
Yes.
monstrous nature in this one.
Yes. Vivi was very firm and also kind. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
It's kind of a stretch, but I think that Vivi is not likely to become Omen or Apocalypse before the end of the game at this point. So letting go of that might be learning something about it. I don't know. That feels like a stretch, but
If you feel it's significant enough, then go ahead and mark the XP.
I'll wait for that one. I think maybe
Okay.
a further rejection some point in the future.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes. Well, does 0 count? Because I think Vivi was maybe holding out hope that 0 was still
In there?
somehow something, but
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I will say it's like, you or Vivi seem to be very amazed by what I call Petri's like ability.
No, that was the different thing. That was the gravity deal.
Oh, yes. So
Everybody knows I'm made of goo. That's not. You're not learning that now.
true. Although, I mean, I guess just the wonder of Vivi, which is great. But if you feel like it's significant enough, then mark 1 XP.
Yeah.
And did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door? Yes, so you do not mark ruin. And then the angel. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Impulse, Vivi.
did you have an intimate or harrowing moment with death? I don't know if it was intimate or harrowing.
I don't think so either, unfortunately. Okay. Maybe if you were falling like in midair, then maybe I would say yes, but you weren't. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, angel.
Okay.
Express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity.
Let me find. Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the very end, and also by being petty this whole time.
My God, yes.
Your choice whether that is human or monstrous.
Uh, it sounds more human. It sounds like more like Peter was getting his back up, so it's fine. Um, did you learn? So Mark XP, did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I think so.
I mean, you had Peter Corda's voice
Well,
speaking through the
that I
speaker.
don't think I've learned that yet, but I have learned that there are definitely things greater than me still out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, affecting reality for definite, sure.
Uh,
um,
I'm surrounded, much like Liberty Island, I am surrounded on all sides by something I am not in.
right. So Mark and XP, did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes.
Which one?
0.
Yeah.
Hypnos.
Yeah. Mm. Did you uncover at least one key of the apocalypse or attempt to unlock Doom's door?
I really don't want to take my 5th ruin and become Harbinger right here, right now.
Are you that close? Come on now.
I know
What?
I
You have
am.
rune advancements.
I have root. No, but I really want to go Harbinger before the end of this game.
God, I don't know what
But I
that means.
really want to go Harbinger before the end of this game.
Well, I mean, there's opportunity.
No, you're right. I can just conjure a beast twice.
There's ways to get
I'll
ruined.
take a ruin advance.
Yeah.
That does mean I have to take advances.
Yes. I mean, that's
Thing
kind
I
of the point.
perpetually forget to do.
Right. Oh, and impulse?
Impulse. Help someone else come to terms with absurdity. Yes, with diagrams.
Yep.
Lovely. Take that XP. Alrighty. So, oh my god, stars and wishes. I know it's a shorter session, but at least one
Yeah.
star.
You are so committed to playing Hypnos as the absolute worst, Ben, and I respect it so much.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's just a little puppy.
This
Just a
scared little
normal
puppy and
man.
also a record executive. Like, just completely slimy. I hate him. It's great.
Definitely a character for sure.
One of the guys of all time.
mm, mm.
I took as an advance a move from a different playbook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Conceal Your Heart by the Untethered.
Does that do what I think it does?
It does.
Okay.
When I would reveal my heart instead, I could conceal it and
Damn.
do something else.
Oh, would you be able to lie? Is that what it does too?
I can turn away from my feelings. The grip on my heart tightens painfully, and they may or may not know I'm hiding something.
Oh my god. Ultimate shielding. Wow. Wow. That's dangerous. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay. Anybody else?
My stars are Hypnos, yeah, being an absolutely easy to dislike boo, but obviously doing so in a defensive way. So it's actually very sad.
Yeah.
Chris, I appreciated the leaning into the absurdity of Petri with just wily coyoteing
Yeah.
Hypnos. That was a good, and it was a good callback too. So I appreciate that. Matt, I liked between Lydia and Cobb. I know you have faith, but what did you ever see in him? As a I you do so good with you do so well with the
Devastating.
side characters, and like they have their own vibe between the pairs of them, and it's so good. Wishes. Oh, I do hope people do go full Omen so that Vivi can be absolutely devastated by the loss of like friends, sort of thing.
Or maybe he's gonna save them all. Who
Maybe.
knows?
Certainly will try.
And we can't wait to see it. Who's next?
Yeah, I thought it was. I really enjoy playing Hypnos, especially because I love how uh, the reactions to him with the characters. It is a lot of fun to uh, be that jerk and see how everyone handles him. And I really enjoyed Petri just not having any interest in putting up with his shit and trap you in an infinite fall. That was so good, and I was really glad that you pulled out that the move, not just saying you did this. No, no, you went hard and risked things, and it was great. Vivi pulling out their connection with death was such a good moment. And also, I really liked how you tried to um, let Hypnos save face, which was more than he would do for any of you. Um, and also, just the little scenes between you and your handlers were so sweet and just big. Um, this isn't goodbye energy, but it could be goodbye, and I quite liked it. And yeah, Mads, as was said, the side characters feel like they could be playing Apocalypse Keys in a parallel game where things are going on, things are changing, they have their own relationships and their own secrets, and you bring such life to them, and it's great. Um, a wish. Uh, I just want. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. I'm looking forward to talking to Prometheus and seeing how and if Vivi and Petri. Uh, Chris has said that you need to deal with Hypnos, and I wish an attempt is made to deal with Hypnos.
I mean, I have so many ways of bringing Zero back. I know you, Ben, are not necessarily interested in that, but I might try.
I invite it. I'm not interested in that. It could be an interesting thing.
We'll talk during the week. I think it's about time we have a real proper, honest to God, landing the plane conversation.
Yeah. I mean, please feel free and have that, like, is a thing. Um, because it's like, again, and especially if it's anything that I can help you with, because like I just want to be able to, you know, uh, I guess aid and abet your plans. I mean, like, what are you intending for your great moment or moments to end the campaign? Because yeah, this is the last mystery, and I'm hoping to give you guys like the best experience possible with this. Uh, you know, engaging with as much as you want to do before the end. Um, any wishes, Chris?
Um, Not really. I'm just extremely excited to see where this goes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess my wish is for that landing the plane conversation.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I just find it hilariously funny that once a campaign gets going, like not just like a mini series or whatever, once the campaign gets going, there's always somebody that comes out, at least in my campaigns I've seen, that just tears it up and just it's not havoc. It's what is it? It's
Disruption.
disruption and minor evil. I mean, yeah, experienced it in my second season of the one get between campaign, and now I'm experiencing it again in Apocalypse Keys. Thank you very much, Ben. Oh my gosh. Like, Hypnos is just the dude we all love to hate. Just need that. Absolutely. That energy. Because then we want to see, like, how, if it's taken down, I mean, I don't know. It may or may not happen. We'll see. And then, yeah, just amidst Petri's weirdness and just comfort with the confusion of what he perceives, what they perceive as the universe, there's still some of the human Peter in there, which I do like to see in these little bits and pieces, and it really grounds the character, so it's not completely like lost to the cosmic ether, which I like, because it can be too far gone where it's like, okay, it's like, completely unreal anyway, and then just weird. But I mean, like, to have a grounding of an actual human originating this character, I think that's something really, really cool to see, especially when you bring it out, Chris. So, and then Matt, Vivi is just, after having gone through so much, especially with the holding on to the death of their people, and then coming around here to being the most human I think we've ever really seen, aside from all the cosmic science speak. I mean, like, there's still some grounding, and I think it's lovely from last session when you saved Agent Ehrlich, and then now, like, letting her know that, or like, like showing that you have a concern for your companions, whether it be human or Omen, and it's lovely to see. I mean, I really enjoy that a lot, and the relationship with Agent Ehrlich is pretty special, and again, a way of grounding the character as being full of humanity, even though they are not originally human. So, stars for all of those things, and wishes. Yeah, I want to see how this gets played out, because you need so many more keys, and then coming up with a theory to unify them all using the facets and placing things as they go. And these clues are weird, so can't wait for you guys to find more of them. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a good time for the remainder of the campaign, and yeah, we'll see for next time. Should be playing next week. I don't recall anything that would be conflicting, but if there is, then just let me know. I mean, like, we'll take it as it goes. But in the meantime, happy gaming for anything else that you're doing this week, and yeah, like, let's get those landing the plane conversations going, and seeing how we want to complete whatever arc you feel that is appropriate for your characters. Okay? Thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure, and it will continue to be a pleasure until we bring this to bed. Oh my God. So,
See you when I see you.
see you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.